I was here first, but that's okay. You were the first external participant. Beef bacon, I love you. Your product, well, whatever. I think, you know, if I was in charge of the branding and marketing, I would really just make a bunch of social media accounts called Beef Bacon, and I would take the Wendy's approach to social media and just be really snarky. It'd be great. It'd be great. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. For my patrons, I'm hoping that we will do pelt this evening, but we'll see. It's going to be a combination of availability of bandwidth, both on the signal side and on the personal side, because we're out here, an hour and a half west of Cody, Wyoming, up in the mountains on a private ranch. It's completely just mind-blowing as far as the environment is concerned. But there's a lot of instruction that is occurring out here at this event, and the timelines have been a little fluid. So if I am available this evening, we'll do it. If I'm not, we'll do it another time. What's up, Mark? Greetings. So I figured as I sat on the porch of this beautiful lodge, that mountain behind me, and that body of water down there that you probably can't see because the iPhone doesn't want to adjust for brightness. Drank my coffee. We do a little Q&A. And so Q&A has two very basic rules. Very basic rules. Please adhere to them. If you do not adhere to them, you just can't be here. Rule number one is everybody's going to be cool to each other in the chat. I'm going to be cool to you. You're going to be cool to me. You're going to be cool to each other. Shalom, Flustercluck. Rule number two is put your questions in all capitals, because that increases the likelihood that I will see them. And if I see them and I want to answer it, I will. If I see them and I don't want to answer it, I won't. And if I can't see them, I can't answer them. And if somebody with a blue wrench has answered your question in the comments, your question's answered, okay? So, yeah, that's that. William, what's up? Michael Roby, good morning. Beautiful day here in Oregon. Nathaniel Bowman. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's actually a little chilly here this morning. It's a little chilly. Probably somewhere right around 60 degrees Fahrenheit ambient right now. And I'll take it. It's been getting hot here for them. Hot is like 90 degrees. What's up, lamppost? It's not chilly here. Who'd have thought? Yeah, so the hot is about 90 degrees. Brother, did you also dial in your 308 AR-10? Brother Donnie, I did. I did. Well, in all fairness, what I did was confirm 0 on 5.56 platforms and 308 platforms. We had some other interesting things out here as well. 6mm arc and a few other boutique rounds. But my 308 AR-10, of which I have multiple, but the one that I brought was the 20-inch heavy barrel with a 6-24 on it, and confirmed 0 on it, and she's hitting great. She's just slapping the target at 500 with a 4mm hold, M118 LR, 175 grain Sierra Match Kings. I've said it before and I'll say it again, that gun is boringly accurate. If you're doing your job, it'll do its job. And so that's comforting. Love that 6 arc. You know, the 6 arc is here's my limited experience with it. Good, but the bullet weight, when there's significant crosswind, then becomes challenging. Because, you know, we're in a valley here in between two mountains, and the wind was whipping through here yesterday, and the 175 grain bullet out of the 308 was doing a much better job, much better wind holds on the 308 than there was on the 6mm. So did you see what Canadian RCMP said yesterday? Nope, I've seen nothing. Hey, Rona, that it's not a lesion, it's a mole that's been inspected, and it's fine. So the false weather makers made it 90 degrees and 150% humidity here in Pauls Valley yesterday. What's up, Tato? Striker Kate, does yours eat 168 grain or 175 grain better? So every rifle is an individual, and this particular rifle eats 175 better than 168. It does a good job of 168, but it loves 175s. Like for example, one of my bolt guns, which 175s should be the pinnacle of accuracy, right? It's, man, that's M118LR. That's the stuff. No, it shoots significantly better groupings. It shoots a 2.5, 3 MOA group, this bolt gun, with 175s, and tightens up to 1 MOA groups with 168s. So, could you go over your breathing technique for shooting long range? Yeah, it's nothing special. I take a couple of deep breaths. I breathe, and by the way, I'm not the expert at this. I've trained with experts in this, but I'm in no way the expert in this. And 500 is not long range. 500 is well inside the effective range of an AR-15 with 55 grain that I was also doing yesterday, 500-yard targets with an AR-15 with 55 grain. Just using the subtensions in my primary arms 1-8 ACSS reticle, and it's on. It's just on. Yeah, you want to watch the sniper series on Rex's channel, Taborosaurus Rex. He's one of the experts out there. I'm not. But as a non-expert, what does my breathing technique look like? I take a couple of deep breaths. I take another deep breath. I exhale, and I pause my exhale, good trigger press, then complete the exhale. So, what's the best cheap sidearm to buy? Glock 19. The Taurus G2C for 250 bucks is actually a great little gun too, if I'm being completely frank. And if you're not gonna put much use on it, I mean, I've got Tauruses that have got, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 rounds through them, and they're fine. But I've got Glocks that, you know, we've done lots of handgun training with that have thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds on them, and they're fine. So, Swamp, looking at grabbing a sheep instead of a steer from neighbors this spring to butcher and fall. Any preference in taste for male or female? Yeah, the females taste a little bit sweeter than the males do. Ideally, anything that you're butchering is a year old or less. Past 12 to 14 months, the males start to taste like males. One of the best things that you can do, male or female, is slaughter, then let them cool. However you do that. Hang them in a walk-in, or if it's a cold time of year, hang them outside. You know, you don't want flies and random wild beasts eating your sheep. So hang them up outside in the barn or in the woodshed, or put them in a cooler filled with ice and let them sit 24, 36, 44 hours. And a lot of that tension comes out of the meat, and a lot of that gaminess comes out of the meat, male or female. Females, you can eat at, so the official USDA demarcation between lamb and mutton is at 14 months, okay? All of the animals we eat, asterisk, when it comes to sheep, are a year old or less. And we tend to eat males because we want the females to remain in the flock to make more sheep. So we got all these males, what do you do with them? Well, you eat them. And so at about a year old, I say the return on investment for pasture or grain converting to meat drops off significantly at a year. They will continue to get a little bit bigger, but not by much. And then, yeah, Texas Sheep Lady's correct. Avoid creating stress, so no adrenaline. How you slaughter the animal also matters. And this works great. This works great. I lay them on their side. I let them breathe. I let them get over it, quit fighting me. And then you just kind of grab an ear, take your knife, come across the jugular vein, and they lose blood pressure to the brain, just like a chicken, almost instantly, and then they just bleed out. And then I'll cut the other side, and I hang them up by their rear feet and let all the blood drain out, and good to go. Or a headshot. Headshot works good too. They're dead before with something significant. 5.56, 55 grain AMAX works really good. They're dead before they hit the ground. So, have you ever bonded with an animal you've had to slaughter? Yeah, but I don't bond with animals. Not that I'm emotionally unavailable. I just know that I'm going to eat these things and they're food, not pets. And so I limit the heartache by not bonding with them in the first place. Do you put the blood in the garden? I put the blood on the ground, wherever the animal's taken. And then the offal, the stomach and intestines and all that, we collect in a wheelbarrow, and then we put that in the compost pile. So, yeah. Batmom. Well, that was a weird thing to walk into. Wasn't sure if you were talking about animals or humans. Yeah. Well, welcome to the chat. We're talking about animals. Mississippi Beaver, what's up? We let deer rest in the fridge for a week. Want to try that with one of the sheep? Yeah, it'd be great. How to be a servant leader for your family and community. Okay. Well, it starts with leaders lead. You got to be the example. Leaders set the tone, the tempo, and you set the parameters. What will you tolerate? What do you reject? What do you tolerate? What do you embrace? And what you tolerate, they will embrace. So you got to understand that too, right? So you have to set and clearly communicate and continue to clearly communicate your expectations for what the standard is, while also having grace for people, because people are people. And so when there's transgression of the standard, one has to ask themselves, is this an issue of integrity, or is it an issue of execution? Issues of integrity, people that lie, people that cheat, people that steal, people that talk shit. Those are all issues of integrity, and that's not something that should be tolerated. That needs to go. Issues of execution, where they tried, but it didn't turn out the way they wanted to. Okay, that requires more training. Excuse me. That requires more training. That's it. Also, the term servant leader has been abused by mainstream Christianity, and oftentimes oftentimes understood to mean that you got to be a sop and wet P word and a really nice guy. And that's not true. You shouldn't be mean for the sake of being mean, but I think the world has plenty of nice guys, and if we look at the fruit of being nice, where has that gotten us as a society? I think we could argue I'd rather have strong men of honor and integrity that have proof of belief in Messiah by their deeds, not just their words, than a bunch of really nice men that have never gotten dirt underneath their fingernails, but know 1,000 really nice ways to tell somebody to go pound sand. Like, no, the non-confrontational, nice guy bullshit has not served society or the church or the Most High, in my opinion. So basically, you're the model as the leader. Don't ask people to do things that you wouldn't do. You can ask people to do things that you don't have the technical expertise to do. That's fine. You don't have to be a subject matter expert in everything. I'm certainly not. But when it comes to doing hard stuff, you should be seen at the front doing hard stuff with your people. That encourages them to do hard stuff as well. Whatever that hard stuff might be, whether it's, you know, PT or going for a rock or whatever, or grinding and getting your stuff done, handling your business. You know, you don't get to be upset at other people for not handling their business if you're not handling yours. So, yeah, it's my thoughts on servant leadership. I'm gonna sneeze again. I just don't know when. All right, questions. One year of food beats plate carrier. Great. I don't even know what that's in context to, Striker Cade. But yes. Shalom, Doug. Nice is pleasant but not godly. Texas Sheep Lady, I agree. Bear, what's your take on plate carriers? Questions go in all capitals, everybody. It makes it easier for me to see them. What's your stance on plate carriers, and do you have one on standby? Yes, I have one on standby. I think for the average person, you'll be better served with a chest rig than a plate carrier. Unless you live in a dangerous high population density area, in which case, yeah, armor, sure. The primary reason I have one on standby, there's two. They're both Caleb House related. One is for Caleb House operations. What's up, NWA Prepper? Shalom, bro. If you need carriers and plates, go to adventurefrontier.com. Go see NWA Prepper. He's our homie, and we love him. Keep it in the family. If you're going to spend money, try and keep it in the family as much as you can, okay? I have plates for two primary reasons, both Caleb House related. One is because of Caleb House field operations. What's up, 12C? And then the other, also Caleb House related, is that if you have little children in the room or you're offended by sounds, you might want to tune out for the next moment or two. That's your warning. There are pedophile pussies that have the audacity to threaten me and my family and my friends because of what we do at Caleb House. Bring it. I'm still very much so that third grade kid that the class bully was like, I'm gonna beat you up after class. No, you're not, because I'm gonna whip your ass right now. If we're gonna have a fight, let's just have a fight right now. Let's do it. So, yeah. So all that to say, my threat profile is different than yours. Very likely. So I don't know if you need plates or not. I think a lot of people are like, yeah, and here's the thing, pedophiles be getting big mad, says Striker Cade. Oh, I'm afraid of you. You victimize women and children, up to and including sexually assaulting babies, because you're a piece of shit that deserves to rot in hell for the remainder of eternity. But I'm supposed to be afraid of you? No, you kiss my ass. No. Comma. Bullets. They go both ways. And so if you're going to be in a place where there's bullets, we expect bullets to be moving in both directions. Then yeah, plates. And see, it's not just plates. It's plates. But what do plates do? Plates cover your heart and your lungs. Side plates as well, right? Your vital organs. All right. What about your head? Oh, I've got a bump helmet. Okay, cool. It's plastic. Well, I got a bump helmet so I can mount my nods to it. All right. Will your helmet stop bullets? Stop fragmentation? No. I'm not a bump helmet guy. Because my thought is, if I got to wear this thing anyway, I got to set it up with comms anyway, I got to mount nods to it anyway. I don't have the money to have my bump helmet set up and my ballistic helmet, so I just have a ballistic helmet, plates, and then what do you have for an individual first aid kit? And more importantly, do you know how to use it? Because most likely you're going to get hit in the arm or the leg. And so it's not just plates. Plates are part of system. And then here's the thing, when you throw plates on, helmet on, maybe nods on, IFAK, add a rifle, add ammunition and water at a minimum, you got 50 pounds of stuff on. Can you move in it? Because if you can't move in it, and now you're in a place where bullets are flying around, you're more likely, not less likely, to get shot. Okay, so a lot of people buy plates thinking that plates are just going to fix it, whatever it happens to be. The plates will exacerbate the situation if you can't move. Yeah, Cold Blizzard Wizard, movement is life, 100%. 100%. So should you have plates? Hell, I don't know. I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know where you live. If you live out here, probably not. Other than maybe vehicle operations and static operations, like you got to run a checkpoint. Sure, maybe plates. But going up that mountain over there, I don't know, you could kind of see it in the background. You're going to go up there with plates on? For why? Now, no, I don't live over there. I live in Sayreville, New Jersey. Do I need plates? Yes, until you need U-Haul. And then you will not need plates anymore. You'll need plates a lot less frequently. So there's a lot of that too. A lot of people adopt a certain amount of risk based upon geographic location, and then they try and mitigate that risk with equipment, not with skills. So the plates conversation is way deeper than, you know, should I buy plates, and if so, from where? Meh. Are all refuge medical training camps in the future going to be an okay, or are you coming west anytime soon? The next time that I am booking public classes for refuge that are not in Oklahoma is earliest going to be end of Q1, Q2, 2026. So springtime 2026. In the meanwhile, all of our public classes are posted at refugemedical.com. Click the training tab. And they are in Oklahoma. What's up, Kyle M? Kyle M is doing recon right now in Texas for grindstoneministries.com with the Texas storms that happened 6 days ago. Yeah, badass team of American people who love Messiah with everything that they've got down there, trying to love their neighbor as themselves too. So keep them in prayer. And if you want to play ball with that, grindstoneministries.com. I have a lot of public classes listed in Oklahoma on the website. I have more private classes not listed on the website all over the country right now. So Refuge Ruckus in 2026 still in Fort Smith. Yes. Also, I saw somebody asked about like daily Bible reading. Let me see if I can scroll back and find that. Please list some favorite Bible chapters for bad readers. Bad readers. Okay. So proverb of the day every day. Today's the 10th, so read Proverbs chapter 10. There's 28 to 31 days in the month. There's 31 Proverbs. So whatever the date on the calendar is, just read that proverb and do that for a year or more. I started this as part of the Patreon men's group 3 years ago, and I still read the proverb of the day every day. There's a lot of wisdom in Proverbs. That's what Proverbs is about, is wisdom. And then I would read the book of James, 5 chapters, very succinct, basic instruction on being a believer in Messiah. And also, there's strong historical evidence that the book of James, as it's now conveyed in our translations of the Bible, is actually what was called the Didache in the time of Messiah, and was codified, written as early as 72 AD. And it was in wide circulation amongst early believers in Messiah as part of their canon. It's what they studied in addition to the Torah scrolls about belief in Messiah. And so it's very practical, tactical, written contemporarily-ish with the time of Messiah. So, and James, it's just 5 chapters, and it's bullet points and knife hands, which I love. So I would start there. Bible reading for bad readers. Start there. Great question, Timberwolf. I didn't see it. Let me scroll back. Proverbs 9 states wisdom has built her house on 7 pillars. What do you think the 7 pillars would be? So my opinion and understanding on this is in Numbers chapter 10, verses, 34, 35, are considered to be their own book of Torah. Okay, so what that means is we have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus are 3 of our pillars. Then Numbers before chapter 10, that's pillar 4. Numbers chapter 10, verses 34, 35, that's 5. And then everything after that, so Numbers part 3 is our 6th pillar, and then Deuteronomy is our 7th pillar. So that's the 7 pillars there. Yeah. Being a pastor now, do you listen to other pastors, preachers' sermons? If so, who are they? Great question. They're yes-ish. Most mainstream Christian pastors, I do not find much inspiration in their preaching. I'm a fan of Charles Spurgeon, who is greatly deceased. He hadn't been around in a long time. I read commentaries from many people. David Guzik is one. I do not agree with probably more than 50% of Guzik's interpretations, but that helps me because then I have to ask myself why. Why do I disagree, and can I back that up scripturally? Not just, well, I don't like that, but what does the Bible say? What is my understanding of the Word and the Word made flesh? I'll tell you this too, when it comes to Torah observance, which is a label I'm not interested in. I don't like labels, period. I'm of the great opinion that the Father is completely unimpressed with our denominations and Torah observance, Messianism, whatever, pick a label, Hebrew roots, all that bullshit is just another, it's just another denomination. It's become just another denomination with its own doctrines and dogmas and pet peeves and unclearly articulated expectations for the body. And here's the thing. We're the body of Christ. We're not the body of denomination by whatever label you would put on it. So 1 Corinthians 12, if you read that, ecclesia or ecclesia, that word's used 78 times in the New Testament, and it refers to the church. The church is not a building. It's not a denomination. It's not a pastor, preacher, rabbi, bishop. It's the body of Messiah. That's what it is. And so I don't ascribe to any label or denomination, Torah related or otherwise, because the Torah terrorists, they're just as bad as the Baptist terrorists and the Mormon terrorists and the Jehovah's Witness terrorists and the Catholic terrorists and the Protestant reformer terrorists and the blah, 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 blah. And grace and mercy, when I first came to complete understanding of the Bible, I was one of those terrorists too. And forgive me, okay? So, Chicken Farmer Plus, excellent troll of Striker Cade. Well done. Who do I listen to? There's two people, three in the air quote Torah movement that I listen to when it comes to their interpretation of the word. One is Pastor Joe Fox at Shofar Mountain Viking Preparedness. He is my pastor. What does that mean? He is my brother, my friend, my leader. He reproves and instructs me when I have problems, challenges, a shortness in understanding. I go to him, and he has been a massive help to me and my family over the last 7 or 8 years. And I know him. I have done many things with him. I have breathed the same air as him. We've had instant coffee from the same metal cup on the burner or next to the fire together. We have context and dwell time. So I know him. Therefore, I trust him. The next is Zach Bauer at New to Torah. I know Zach. We text each other. We've hung out. He's been on the Bear Show. He is a reliable witness. Not just in the words that come out of his mouth, but in his conduct as well. Same thing with Pastor Joe. Not just his words, but his conduct. Okay? So you need two witnesses. And it's not just words. Words are easy, but Messiah says you'll know them by their fruits, not their words. Okay? The last is Luca Baffy at The Way DVD and the Life podcast, and now he's starting the Life Network. He and his wife Katie are starting the Life Network, which is like Netflix for Torah observant Christians, which is beautiful. Why? Because I've heard Luke's words, but more importantly, I've seen his conduct. I understand how he conducts himself as a man of Elohim, and there is no gap in between his conduct and his words. Okay. That being said, there are plenty of air quote preachers and assemblies and prophets, even they call themselves sometimes. It's a very dangerous game to play in the air quote Torah observant movement that have YouTube channels that I do not recommend at all. And many of them are enemies of mine. Many of them are enemies of mine because of the work we do with Caleb House. And when I first started doing Caleb House, I thought, oh, we'd be dealing with a bunch of like people from South America and Central America who have been trafficked, you know, the whole kids in cages thing. Nope. A significant portion of our workload is dealing with the church that produces CSAM, child sexual abuse material, that pimps out their children and their wives to other people, that traffics people, that steal young girls from the Mennonite communities that they're adjacent to, traffic them, produce CSAM with them, intimidate witnesses, attempted murder of witnesses, intimidation campaigns, scare tactics, etc., etc. And those people, it would be better that I get a hold of them than the Most High does. Because not only have they not forsaken, they are forsaking, they are exploiting the widow and orphan and creating widows and orphans, okay? But they've taken the Father's name in vain. What does that mean? That means they've put the Yod Hey Vav Hey, they have stamped his name on their bullshit. And they are disgusting, Batmom, that's exactly right. And I am not friends with them. I will not be friends with them. I don't fellowship with them. I don't fellowship with people that do fellowship with them. I have nothing to do with those people from a belief standpoint. And I know they watch the channel. If I was you, I'd watch the channel too, because I'd want to get as much bear intel as possible. So just know this, I'm coming for you. I've been coming for you, I'm still coming for you. There's not a place on this planet you can go that I will not find you and put you in shackles and turn you over to the feds or whatever. Because you're a disgusting abomination. And you're so weak and cowardly that you'd pick on children and women. Because you can't pick on men. You can talk shit about men, and you're real good at that. But you don't have the horsepower to pick on actual men of Elohim. That when me and my guys show up in our non-ironic plate carriers and ruin your life because you've ruined other people's lives, you cry like the little bitches that you are. You are disgusting to me. You're disgusting to the Most High. And your manipulative bullshit is going to buy you an eternity separated from the Most High. And I don't care if you repent or not. That's in between you and the Most High. I'm not the judge of that. But I am instructed by Messiah to judge and judge righteously, according to a man's works. And your works are abominable. And I will fuck you up. So, with that, have a wonderful day. All you pedophiles in the chat, watching from all over the place, stamping the Father's name on your bullshit. Okay, we're out of the explicit portion of the show. Let's get a cup of coffee. What time is it? You guys want to see an elk? I'm hungry.
Shalom.
Shalom, I'm JAW. Is there coffee out front? Yeah.
You taking the people to go see the coffee?
I'm Cody, the roaster for Cody Coffee.
You're Cody, the roaster for
Boom! Roasted!
Right here, TJ.
JW, how did you do that?
I was, I inherited both.
Oh.
I purchased Cody coffee, I inherited Cody's.
Say hi to just say hi. This is JW.
Hi.
He's awesome. If you want one of these, he's the guy. Shoot me an email, I'll put you in contact with him. This is what he does.
Or if you want to go up there, he'll take you.
Yeah, he does that too.
Yes.
If you want to go up there and shoot one of these, he also does that. So, all right, we're gonna go get coffee from Cody Coffee, and look at this door, like a Nephilim door. You got any coffee out here?
Yeah, we got some drip coffee if you want, and some nitro cold brew.
Good answer.
And if you need some milk, if you want, I got some
cow
in here.
milk? Like come out of a cow?
So yeah, we got whole milk.
Okay.
Okay.
None of that oat shit from yesterday?
Nope. I mean, we have oat milk, but we got whole milk as well.
Okay. Hey man, if I don't give you a hard time, who's gonna give you a hard time?
Exactly. Well, my dad will. So,
Oh yeah? Who's your dad?
he's JW's in there.
JW's your dad?
Yeah.
Oh jeez. We're going extra hard on you.
Yeah.
Angela, you wanna say hi to the internet?
Hello, Internet. How are you today?
They're good.
They're good.
What are we doing?
I'm eating fruit.
Fruit?
Fruit and coconut yogurt, which you probably
No,
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm doing.
have testosterone.
Oh, okay. I went all the way down to the river
Oh,
this morning.
how is it down
It
there?
took me 25 minutes
Okay.
to walk down there,
Uh-huh.
and it's beautiful down there.
I
A
bet.
little hard to get in it, but it's really nice. Very pretty.
We are going to, here's your cow juice back, homie.
And that's the one right next
Oh, thank you.
We're doing water today.
Yeah, we are. You're doing water today.
Oh, you trying out one?
So look at this cool little trailer. Because Cody is not near here. So go away, Bumblebee. I don't want to be friends with you. I know friend with
Well, I
you.
hopped up on
Come
the
on.
log.
Get off me.
I hopped up on the log.
Do you want any?
And then there's like
caramel syrup or?
Nah,
That.
I don't need any flavor. I hopped up on the log.
And there's just
when I
that.
hopped up on the log, this like
you know,
pack of yellow jackets came flying out of the log.
150-year-old cabins. And
You don't need to get
yeah,
20 bites.
I've been sleeping in Teddy Roosevelt's cabin, which is pretty cool. The switch arms. And what's also super cool is the people that own this land are actually from New York. I was talking to them yesterday, and they were like, yeah, we live in such and such a place. And I said, hey, driving there's a hill, and right before the top of that hill there's a little white house. They're like, yeah. I was like, that was my house. They're like, what? Cody, Wyoming. Well, west of Cody, about 75 minutes. Yeah. Solitaire Ranch. That feeds my soul. Me too. We're about 50, 60 miles west of Cody, Wyoming, currently. And JW here, I said, hey, listen, I will be your neighbor at some point. And in the meanwhile, this facility here, which is just drop dead gorgeous, as you can see, they have 5 or 6 miles of river that runs through here. It's theirs, that they have the exclusive fishing rights to, world-class fishing, world-class hunting, significant rifle range, lodging on site. They bring the coffee to you. So I'd say probably springtime to summertime 2026, Refuge will be teaching out here. What will you be teaching? We can teach whatever we want out here. Probably come out here for a few weeks and do basic civilian TAC med, and then do an essential responder. This is a great place to do Zero to Hero and tactical radio operator as well, because talk about terrain masking and making it obvious that like height makes might when it comes to radio stuff. Yep, and then obviously wilderness medicine. Wilderness medicine as well. So, yeah, at some point we'll be out here. I mean, I'm out here in a professional capacity right now, but on the Bear Independent side, not the Refuge side. So, can I have a job, Red? Maybe. Maybe. Coffee. Being there again would be awesome because it's close to me. Yeah. So, we'll, Ick again. What? You don't like that I spit? Ronald, if you don't like the fact that I spit, you're not going to fit in around here. Alright, probably got time for one more question. What do you guys got? I'll film it, says Nathaniel. Well, if you can film it, if you can best my giant 2 of 3 in jiu-jitsu. And then my other giant, Yoshi. TJ, what did you see on Twitter X about Civil War? Yeah, a whole bunch of shit I don't want to get into right now because I'm out here doing this. Guys, it's coming. It's been coming forever. There's a lot of people that took their foot off the accelerator of preparedness and faith when Trump got reelected, and that was a bad move. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. So keep doing the things and do them for the right reasons, not out of fear. Preservation of life is what matters. Preservation of life. It's gonna get worse before it gets worse, y'all. I'll be Dudley's camera caddy. Okay, that's acceptable. Yeah, yesterday we were both at the rifle range and on horseback, and super cool. They've got, I don't know how many horses here, but they've got a bunch of horses and a bunch of places to ride them, and elk and grizzly and whitetail and mule deer and moose and all kind of stuff. Horses, yeah, lamppost. Horses. In fact, I can't discuss on open channels, but they have some very interesting horses. I'll tell you about when I see you. Yeah, so I'd say probably late spring, early summer, 2026. We'll come out here, and by we I mean for a few weeks, come out here from a BI standpoint and a refuge standpoint and a ministry standpoint, and do some, what do they call them, offsites in the corporate world. So it's amazing. Got a big old lodge building here and several cabins and houses on property. Wyoming is the least populated state in the union. Yeah, so before the father moved me to Oklahoma, any grizzly bears? Yeah, there's grizzly bears. Before the father moved me to Oklahoma, my wife and I were pretty set on Wyoming. In fact, when I was coming out here, my wife was like, number one, she was a little covetous that I got to come out here without her, and I was like, screw it, come with me. We'll rent an RV, we'll drive out here, it'll be fun. And she was like, I gotta hang back and run refuge. And I was like, yeah, you could take a week off. And she's like, no, I gotta hang back and run refuge. It's like, okay, I love you. Next time, babe. But then she's also like, number two, I just know you're gonna get back from Wyoming and you'll be like, babe, throw your stuff in a suitcase. We're up. We're moving to Wyoming. My work is not in any way done in Oklahoma, but one day, like I said, I told JW, I said, I will be your neighbor. It's just a matter of time. And in the meanwhile, Rick and Chris that own this place are phenomenal human beings. This is the Wild Horse Ranch west of Cody, if anybody wanted to use it for any, any events. And I'm not like, oh no, now the bad guys know where you are. The bad guys are pussies, they're not coming here. And even if they could spin up on short notice to come to the Wild Horse Ranch in Cody, Wyoming, the driveway's 6 miles long. Actually, it's more than that. Just their portion of the driveway. It's 20, 30 minutes off the paved road just to get to where we are here. So, and we were checking zero on rifles yesterday. So, cool. But in the meanwhile, Rick and Chris that own this place and run it, I do have a place in Wyoming where I can be when needed to rest, teach, instruct, ride horses, shoot rifles, teach wilderness medicine, do radio stuff, convoy operations, basic land nav, water, etc., fishing, etc. Like, here it is. Praise Yah. I don't have to own this because I have new friends that own this. So, yeah. Remember the bear compound in Wyoming you were talking about a while back? Yeah. Hurt Citizen, you're starting to get it. I do remember that. They have a bell. They have a big old dinner bell right there that works. It bells. Do a demo class out here. You can do whatever you want to out here, homie. You can do whatever you want to. It's really cool. It's an absolute blessing to be out here, to be teaching. I've not rested well. and that's just because of vertebrae, not because of the environment. But that's okay. It'll be good. It is good. And I'm actually going to have to teach here soon. So you guys know the drill. Oh. Rick and everyone else. These pants fit this pocket. Rick and everyone else. Remember when I showed you this on camera? Remember this? The pocket organizer? This is not the pocket organizer that I showed you on camera. This is the one that's available that also has belt loops on the back of it. So you can slide it, you can put this in a pocket, you can slide it through your belt, and it'll hold a tourniquet, a cat or a soft tee, and a reload. Actually, 2 reloads. So this side pocket here, you can use for a flashlight or a reload, whatever you prefer. So these are available at refugemedical.com. Of course, they're made in the United States of America by Americans, and yeah, they're inexpensive. They're not cheap. They're inexpensive. I told the patrons yesterday, 2 days ago, and about 50% of the volume, thank you patrons, is sold out already. So there's only about 50% remaining of the volume of these that we produced, and they are available in colors, so you don't have to get coyote tan. You can get black, green, I believe. Yeah, and they're very reasonably priced. So that's the pocket organizer. So I just made one of these for me, kind of like that's how the Bear Fact started. Like, I just needed a first aid kit for me, and then I told some people about it, and they're like, yo dude, let me get one. And so same thing with this, I made one of these for me, and then y'all were like, yo dude, let me get one of those. So they're available, they're at the website. There are only 10 left in Coyote, says HBD Off-Road, which is Mike. There's only 10 left in Coyote. I would go, if you want a Coyote one, I'd get them. Now 8. There's only 8 left in Coyote. If you want a Coyote, I'd go get one right now, refugemedical.com. Also, we have myriad upcoming classes. It's going to get worse before it gets worse. And even if it don't get worse, everybody needs medical training. You just do. I want you to have a good first aid kit. That's why Refuge Medical exists. But more importantly, I want you to know how to use it. And once you continue to build your skills, the kit almost becomes irrelevant. Okay? Like, I can do S-March E with my hands. I would prefer to not. I'd prefer to have, you know, even right here just sitting here talking to you. Did Grandpa Charlie carry a BAR? I don't believe he did. I think it was a Garand. Here's my tourniquet. Here's my everything else. The slick kit from Refuge, right? So I got chest seals, hemostatic gauze, nitrile gloves, flat trauma dressing, and duct tape. Right here, dude, blowout kit in my pocket, okay? Even though I know how to do it with just my hands. That's my point. I want you to have real first aid kits, not, you know, I've got a 350 piece first aid kit. Well, 285 pieces are Band-Aids and the rest of it's Chinese garbage throwaway stuff. That doesn't help anybody. So get a real first aid kit, and more importantly, know how to use it. No, I need you to know how to use it. So that's why we teach classes. We're predominantly an education and instruction company, all right? So, married to a surgical nurse, operation theater trained 20 years. That's awesome. What do you do when your surgical nurse wife isn't with you? Because you will be at 100% of your emergencies. I won't be. Your wife may not be. Mike is kind of our resident expert. Well, Mike's in Oklahoma and I'm in Wyoming. So I can't depend on Mike's skill set. I got to have my own. Okay. Our medical director, Refuge's medical director, has been everywhere and done everything. Super, super badass human being on the military and the civilian side. He's not here right now. Doc's not with me, okay? I will be at 100% of my emergencies. You won't be, Doc won't be, Mike won't be. They might be at some, but not all, okay? So I've got to have not just my own equipment, but my own skill sets. You have to have not just your own equipment, but your own skill sets, okay? You see a lot of this, and it's unfortunately lazy thinking in the preparedness space. It's the medical equivalent of I'll just come to your house. No, you won't. What if you can't get to my house? Okay, you got to have your own stuff, and more importantly, your own skills. So if you'd like to come to class, hit the training tab at refugemedical.com. We have a slew of publicly available classes throughout the remainder of the year. We have even more private classes. And so if you'd like to chat about a private class, just shoot me an email, admin@refugemedical.com, whether it's law enforcement, continuing education for professional medical services, DOD personnel, or civilians, we got you, okay? So, yeah, I'll be in Kentucky next week at KSL. Awesome. And so there's a bunch of people coming to train at KSL. And I decided a month or 6 weeks ago, the class that's listed at KSL is bleeding prevention. I'm not teaching bleeding prevention. I'm teaching March. I'm gonna teach you guys all of it. We're gonna do our 4-hour intro to March curriculum for the same price as a bleeding prevention class. And that class is sold out. So I'm not even trying to sell you on that. I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're there. We're gonna be there. They're gonna have trainer kits. We're doing this. So bleeding prevention is part of March, but it's not the only part. So grindstoneministries.com, keep them in prayer, please. Texas is a battle. I cannot get into the details on why it's a battle, but unfortunately, as we've experienced on myriad other disasters, the government is not great at disaster relief and storm response. I'll just leave it at that. So keep Grindstone in your prayers. If you want to assist with Grindstone, if you're led by the Spirit to assist with Grindstone, go to grindstoneministries.com. There's both a volunteer button and a donate button there. calebhouse.org. If you'd like to volunteer for Caleb House, Caleb with a K, calebhouse.org. Email volunteers@calebhouse.org. Right now is Caleb House's annual restoration fundraiser with donor matching. And so if you're led by the Spirit to donate, we're raising funds to build Care House 2 at the restoration facility. So you can do that. And if and only if you're led by the Spirit to give, you can do that at calebhouse.org. That's it. That's the show. I appreciate y'all. Hey, do me a favor. Share the show with somebody you love, please. Okay? Share the show with somebody you love. That's the only way the show grows. The YouTube algorithm has hated our guts for 1.5 years, and I'm here for it. And special shout out to the patrons. You guys and girls are the economic engine of the Bear Nation. There would be no show without you. And if you'd like to have access to all the exclusive content at Patreon, Patreon's not just an I love me, you should love me too page. The goal at Patreon is to deliver an overwhelming amount of value there. It's $10 a month or $100 a year if you sign up for the year. And I hear pretty much on every video, this one video was worth the $10 or the $100. And if you're on Instagram, you should be following Voice by Matt.
Oh, are we live?
Yes.
Hello, Bear Nation.
This is my brother Matt.
This is my brother Bear, my brother TJ.
This is the reason I'm in Wyoming
Shalom.
right now. You should be following Voice by Matt on Instagram. And on Facebook. You're on Facebook too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
voiced by Matt.
Yeah.
YouTube, voiced by Matt.
Yeah, that's right.
We need to do more of that.
Yeah. Me and Dudley are gonna make you do more of that.
Good.
We will force your hand, brother. So
What was the message today?
just did some Q&A.
Yeah.
We talked about a little rest and relaxation in the mountains.
Oh man.
We talked about people that hurt children.
Oh yeah.
We talked about coming back out here in the future for more classes and events.
Amen.
We talked about people living in the wrong place and trying to mitigate risk when they should just relocate.
Oh, I like this recap.
Yeah, yeah. It was spirit-filled. We talked about Bible stuff.
Yeah.
You know, what to read. Like, if you're not a great reader, what part of the Bible should you read?
Yeah.
So,
Gospel's always a good place to start.
which is your favorite gospel?
Ooh, I mean, you know, my name is Matthew.
Uh-huh.
You'd think I'd say Matthew, but I think it's John.
Yeah, John has a great gospel. Mark and Luke don't really do it for me. I like Matthew and John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, it just feels really good to read John.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has God is love,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Well, I want to say to all of you, thank you for allowing me to spend time with TJ, because I know how much he means to the world and the light that he is to the world. And I'm so proud of the light that he's sharing the world and more that he's sharing. And so it's nice to be with TJ and Dudley and Angela's here,
Yep,
and
JW.
JW. And there's some incredible people here, and we are growing a lot. And I've got to get ready
Yeah.
for this next class.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
That's why we're saying goodbye, everybody. Voiced by Matt.
Thank you,
That's
guys.
Matt's YouTube channel, Voiced by Matt. So go follow Matt. He's awesome.
Oh,
And I'll see y'all when I see you. Shalom, everybody.
shalom.